April the 9th, when Bad Meets Evil. First of all, fantastic graphic designs. Barrie Wrestling's really stepped up the design. I'm not too sure who's doing these designs, but they need to get some props big time because the visuals are fantastic for this.
Well, I feel bad, I don't know. But if you follow Barrie Wrestling, so Barrie Wrestling's at Barrie Wrestling on Twitter, Instagram, they're on Facebook. Apparently they're on TikTok. Again, I'm 37, so I don't get TikTok. I don't know how to use TikTok. But yeah, I'll bug Shawn and I'll have to get him to shout out whoever's doing the graphics because it's every month. And I love that every month looks different. You see other indies. I mean, not everybody's great at everything, but sometimes, they all kind of look the same. Or I have to look all over the poster and I still don't know where or when the show is.
Yep.
But I love ours. But yeah, so Saturday, April 9th at the Ferris Lane Community Church, or to us, the FLCC Arena. So do you want to start with the main or do you want to go?
I think maybe let's work our way up to the main.
Work our way down, yeah.
Yeah, let's work our way up. Let's start a match that I'm pretty excited about. And, you want to talk about guys that have paid their dues in the Barrie scene. This guy started out as a fan. He did the ring crew. And now he's in there mixing up. We got Van Landen, the young up-and-comer, going up against our friend of the show here. He's been on a couple times. The always dangerous Holden Albright. This is a big test for Van for sure. I think this is probably his biggest challenge so far in Barrie. But for me as a fan, I'm excited to see Van get in there and see if he can hang with the hard-hit Holden.
Yeah, and I'm halfway through writing Van Landen's obituary, and I'll send it in as soon as the match is over. No, from the great city of Aurelia, Van Landen, repping my hometown. Appreciate that. No, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be good. I like Van Landen in the All-Ontario Cup. I like what I see. He's got a lot of great energy. Holden Albright is one of the, if not the most unique wrestler I have ever seen.
100%.
And one of the most unique human beings I have ever interacted with. And he does great magic tricks too. Yeah. Yes. No, I don't know what to expect from that match. I don't know. Van Landen he's a high energy guy. He's got a lot of youthful exuberance, but everybody's got a plan to get punched in the mouth. And I feel like that youthful exuberance might go away when he gets hit by Holden Albright, because that man hits hard. And, Albright's going to have a 50, 60 pound weight advantage. He's going to have the experience advantage. He's got the crazy advantage, which you cannot underestimate. But Van Landen, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't know that you're not supposed to win, you're the underdog, you're not supposed to take this match, then you go in with confidence. So
I love that Shawn broke this match on Holden's Instagram Live, just to make it a little bit different. You know what I mean? A lot of things, a lot of matches you find out when you see the card, when you see the poster. Every once in a while, it's cool to have that little extra. It doesn't have to be big. This wasn't big, but it was that little unique thing to make it a little bit different. And I like stuff like that.
100%. And, Holden's coming off a time limit draw with the Three Pistol champion, John Atlas. So he's obviously going to be pissed off. He's not in the title picture again right now. I think that he's going to take that frustration out, and he's going to try to send a message to get that next title shot. And he's probably going to have an eye on the Three Pistol title match tonight, or on Saturday, with John Atlas and Junior Benito. I can't wait for this one. Junior Benito. Yeah, he's building quite the reputation in Toronto and now all over the world. He's just finishing up a tour over in the UK with Von Vertigo and Mark Wheeler over there. What do you expect to see out of this one, Mike?
First off, tremendous segue. That's professional podcasting right there.
I'm working on
it. Junior Benito versus John Greed in the All-Ontario Cup. For those of you who haven't seen it, you can still message Barrie Wrestling and get access to the All-Ontario Cup.
Which we proudly sponsored, by the way.
Yes, thank you. And expertly announced. That match was not one I had circled, and it blew me away. And Junior Benito is a tremendous talent. John Atlas, though, again, we're talking about size differences. Like, John Atlas is a former pro football player, as he will let us know. He's won Grey Cups. He won the Vanier Cup. He is very, very talented, big, strong guy. And he's got that mean streak now. But Junior Benito is fast, and he He can take a ton of punishment, and he's, like you said, he's coming back from Europe. He's going to learn a lot over there. That's going to be a great match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with John Atlas right now, he's doing some of the best in-ring work in his entire career. He is dialed in right now. He is focused. He's not afraid if he's got to bend the rules a little bit to keep that title. And he's really good at getting in his opponent's head with the trash talking that he's doing. So Benito is definitely going to have his work cut out for him this week.
And
absolutely.
What's it got to do to you mentally? If you're Junior Benito, if you're anybody going up against a guy like John Atlas, this man didn't do the job for a bullet. This man didn't do the job for cancer. What the fuck are you going to do to this man? That's got to be playing in your head when you're in the ring with John Atlas.
Yeah, he's tough as nails, right?
He is. It's too bad he's kind of turned into a dick.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's his tenacity, his toughness can't be overstated. But yeah, it should be great. I'm gonna segue into one for you. One for you here. See, I don't talk for a living, right? It's just that's my side gig. It's very late for me on a Monday night, guys.
That's right. You're getting the whole counted out treatment here. 10:30 on a Monday night we record.
Oh, so the Ottawa scene, Junior Benito, also coming out of the Ottawa scene, the Hot Stepper. Yeah, we got Hot Stepper against they breed them different in Buffalo. Young Jay Lee. Okay, like Puff is different. Puff would be different no matter where he's from. That's not a Buffalo thing. That's just a Puff thing. But Kevin Blackwood, Daniel Garcia, Young Jay Lee. Yeah. Like, I guess, is training in Buffalo just you show up for the first month and get kicked in the chest for pretty much, 8 hours a day? Like, I haven't seen Young Jay Lee against Josh Alexander yet. I really need to see that.
Yes, you do.
Match with Tarek just floored me. And that's the first full-on standing ovation I've seen in Barrie in a very long time, you know, outside of like big returns and stuff like that.
And he deserved it. They both deserved it, 100%.
Oh, absolutely. I gave him a little bit of crap because I like to talk to the guys before the show and like, hey, are there any moves that I should know the name for? And he's like, no, I'm pretty simple. And then he does that air raid crash into a neck breaker thing. And I'm sitting on commentary. I'm like, you bastard. And I called it like an air raid crash into a neck breaker. I didn't know what the hell it was, but I'm like, can you please come up with a name for that? What a maneuver, you know?
To me, I've got this as my match of the night, and I think that's 100%. Saying something with how loaded this card is. Jay Lee is not only one of my favorite wrestlers in Barrie Wrestling, but he's turning into one of my favorite wrestlers in all of wrestling. This guy's come in month after month, and he's putting on 5-star matches every month. Guys like Lionel Knight with Tarek last month. Like, it doesn't matter who he's in there with. It is an amazing match. And the Hot Stepper, I've never got to see him work live. I did a little bit of work with him for some of the All Ontario Cup event centers that we did. What an awesome guy. I can't wait to see this one. I've been watching the Hot Stepper on YouTube. This is going to tear the house down. And I hope we get some breakdancing in the middle of the match, too. I think Jay Lee could probably throw a mean spinneroonie.
I think Hot Stepper really needs to not underestimate Jay Lee, and he needs to come in at 100% here because Jay Lee has something that I don't think Hot Stepper has. Now, either one of you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but if I'm not wrong, Jay Lee, as good as he is, as amazing as he's been, he still hasn't pulled out that W in Barrie yet.
I was just going to say the exact Mikes think alike.
He is hungry.
This is my nightmare.
He needs this. He fucking needs this. I think he needs it more than Hot Stepper does.
Well, in the same regards, so Hot Stepper, he hasn't been around Barrie since the All Ontario Cup, and he's going to want to come in and make an immediate impression, right?
That's it. So, you know, it's anybody's game here, but I got to put my money on Jay Lee finally getting that W.
Yeah,
and I mean, both guys are pretty new to pro wrestling, right? I think Hot Stepper's only been around since I want to say 2019. And I mean, there's 2 years now that don't really count. So yeah, they're both really trying to build the name for themselves. And yeah, that's going to be great. All right. Other Mike, like, what's the next match you want to talk about?
Well, I don't have the card in front of me. I've been trusting you guys for that.
I got the bus. Sorry, guys.
I'm having technical issues here.
Sorry.
Well, how about this one? This is one that I've got my eye on, especially after last month. One of the most passionate promos I've heard inside of a wrestling ring this year. Anton Alexia going up against Kyle Boone. Kyle coming off a couple big losses to Gabriel Fuerza in the last couple months. So, he's looking to come in here. And Anton, are we trusting that he's turning over a new leaf here? Or is it going to revert back to same old evil Anton?
So you mentioned that promo when, and we'll talk about this later about how the shows are going to be viewable. They cut to me and Jim at the table after Todd's promo, and I'm pretty sure they just got.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
Okay.
It was one of my favorite promos I've seen in a while. Not only in the Indies, just promos. I love what him and Ben got going on right now. I've been enjoying it the last couple shows. They've been doing a really good job. And I like what Alexi's doing. We haven't seen Alexi wrestle a match in a while due to injury. So have him come back and doing this face turn, ? You know what I mean? We don't know what to expect from him. So just like Tyler said, are we going to get a brand new Alexi, or are we going to see him pull up the same old dirty deeds? We won't know until April 9th, I guess.
Well, and Anton, he's injured his shoulder again. After he was in Barrie, between that one, he's re-injured it. Apparently, it's not so bad, so he should be good to go for Saturday. But that's going to be a factor. And as a guy who's popped his shoulder out a couple times myself, it's not fun, and it doesn't feel good for a couple weeks after. So that's going to be it. And Kyle Boone, he's used to be a real nice guy. I don't know what, this whole wave maker thing. I don't know what beach he's been on all winter, but if he shows up with a tan, I'm going to question that. And, he's got Shiloh by his side. They think they're the king and queen of Barrie, and that cockiness can cost you, but he might get under Anton's skin, and Anton doesn't seem like he's the most stable right now. No. So if he loses focus, Kyle will beat him.
How stable was this guy ever? I got to pull the curtain back and let people know the first time Tyler and I ever experienced Anton. We didn't know Anton. We'd never met him before. We were doing the stuff for the All Ontario Cup, and we reached out and said, "Hey, you're part of the All Ontario Cup. Could you send us a promo?" And everybody did it. Most of the guys sent us a promo, and it was them. It was Corey Stone sitting there going, "I'm going to fucking do this, blah, blah, blah." Or it was Holden Albright saying, "I'm going to do this." You know what I mean? And it was all straightforward promos. And then we get Anton, who did not send us a promo. He sent us a fucking short film of him putting a dead body in the back of his fucking car and alluding to it might be one of Sean Gibson's kids. What the fuck?
His message to me was, this is how I'm feeling about the All Ontario Cup. I'm not really feeling a promo. And I was just like, oh, cool, man. I'll put it in.
And that was our introduction to Anton, and I would not change it for the world. Anton has become one of my favorite people in independent wrestling. Outside of that ring, he is probably the funniest guy I have met in a long fucking time.
The next time you talk to him, I won't tell the story for him. Ask him about losing his keys, I believe it was, at the ranch in Barrie. Just ask him about getting home. Because that was a pricey night for him.
Holden told the story of him breaking into the ranch.
No, not. You're thinking of the barn, Mike. Holden, that's their training facility.
Yeah.
The ranch.
The ranch is a country bar.
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
Anton's a great dude. He also, when he was, I don't know if you know the story of him getting injured at Barrie Wrestling when he had his concussion. Unfortunately, it was a botch in the ring and he landed on his head over the top rope onto the floor, and then tweeted from the hospital, "Joke's on you, life, I'm immortal." Sorry, "Joke's on you, death, I'm immortal." So that's Anton.
Yeah, and I believe that with him as well.
Yeah. That match is going to be fun.
The last point I want to make on this match before we move on to the next one, you talked about his shoulder possibly being an obstacle. You mentioned her name earlier, but Shiloh on the outside, She is dangerous. Do not let her fool you. She is dangerous, and we've seen her not afraid to get in there and mix it up already a couple other occasions. So that could be a difference maker that gets Kyle back in the win column this month.
Absolutely, yeah. She is. She's dangerous, like you said. She's trying to think of a word I can say that I'm not going to get in trouble with my wife. But yeah, we'll go with dangerous.
yeah. Same here. My girlfriend, my better half, listens to this sometimes. So we'll just say that it's not the worst thing in the world to be on the beach with Kyle and Shiloh there, right?
There you go. Now, speaking of dangerous women, the mixed tag match.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. So Ben Ortmans and Alexia Nicole against Jessie V and Taylor Rising.
Yeah, this is hard for me.
Yeah, it's Taylor, her debut match, and she pins the most recent Barrie Wrestling Women's Champion. And Taylor is jacked.
Yes.
There was a moment in the match where she had Alexia in some sort of, it was a arm hold, something along those lines, and just wrenched back. And all you could see was muscles popping out. And Jim and I went silent for just like, geez, she's in phenomenal shape. And I mean, Alexia is in great shape too, but Taylor's, I wouldn't be surprised she could pick up and slam Ben. I'm going to be totally honest here.
Absolutely.
And then Jessie V might be the best pure athlete in Barrie Wrestling.
Yeah. Not agree with you more.
This is tough for us because, and I think I can speak on Mike's behalf here, on a very personal level, we love Big Ben. I just think he's such a great guy. I've had wonderful conversations with him, and I always cheer for him every time he's in a Barrie Wrestling ring. But Jessie V taking down the All Ontario Cup on the CountedOut7.com bracket. He's our guy too. Like,
yes.
I don't know what to do. Like him and Ben
Tyler and I are always the only two people cheering for Jessie at the shows.
So
and sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it breaks our heart. We don't like to do it, and this is one of those instances because he's going up against Ben, a guy we consider a friend. We love Ben.
Yeah, and we've had Alexia Nicole on our show as well before. This is just a real emotional mess for me. You know what I mean? I feel like mom and dad are fighting, and I just want to go hide in my room until it's all over. This is a tough one.
If you're gonna take all emotion out of it, listen. I love Ben. I love Alexia, but nobody is built like Jessie V or Taylor Rising. Look at these two human beings. Like, holy shit. They broke the fucking mold with Jessie V. Nobody looks like that man. And
it's not just the look. The dude did a coast to coast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a freak. By the way, you say Ben and Jessie are like mom and dad fighting. Which one are you going to call mom?
Whatever one Jessie wants to be. Because he's big enough to call his own shot. Yeah, whatever one Jessie chooses for sure. This is going to be a barn burner though. Alexia Nicole, her sneaky actions costing Mark Wheeler the championship. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. And Jessie kind of getting revenge for Wheeler here and turning on Alexia, which I really like Jessie and Alexia together. I thought they were a great pair. I thought they had great chemistry. But, Taylor stepping up here, and this is going to be another great match. I sound like a broken record, but this is a stat card from top to bottom.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, Wheeler, Jessie, and Taylor, there's about 1% body fat between the three of them.
Absolutely.
They got to get in better shape. It's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible, One
other tag match on the card.
I'm a tag team wrestling guy. Anybody that listens to this show knows that I love tag team wrestling. I can't wait for this one. Puff and Pretty Ricky. Are they the tag team champions? Are they not? Are they the karaoke champions? Unofficial, right? They say they're the official champions. Shawn Gibson doesn't. I believe I saw a message that Shawn put out during WrestleMania, which I want to talk about in a little bit as well.
My God, yes.
During the Jackass match with Johnny Knoxville going, I am not answering any messages I get from Puff and Ricky at all right now. These guys, I don't know how they do it, but every month they do something crazier and more entertaining.
I never thought they would ever outdo themselves on the Jingle for the Jingle All the Way match back in December. Okay, I'm like, that's it. They're done. They can't do anything funnier, anything better than that. And then in March, they did a fucking karaoke contest that like, how do they keep doing it? Where do the ideas come from? I don't know. It's so funny.
Cocaine?
A lot of cocaine.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Okay, Pretty Ricky just looks like he is made of cocaine.
So, Puff, first off, we had a show in Aurelia. It was the Mariposa Madness. It was a Smash Barrie combination show. And I was the PA announcer. And the opening match, the first guy out was Puff. And if you're ever announcing anything, make sure the first guy out for the first match is Puff, because the crowd is in your hand and you're done. Yeah. I have never seen somebody so universally loved. He is funny as hell. He's annoying as an announcer, because I'm like, do you have any matches? He's like, I've been listening to this new album a lot. I want you to talk about that. I'm like, you want to help me on this, Puff? And like, Ricky is like, no. For those of you out there, if you have not heard of or seen the Holden Albright, Puff, Pretty Ricky, Falls Count Anywhere in Barrie match, the triple threat from Canada Day a couple of years ago, the B-dub redub is up on the Barrie Wrestling YouTube channel. It's the three of them talking about that match. It included a sharpshooter in the middle of a street that was not closed. There were cars on it. It includes Holden Albright taking a bump into a light post, and you clearly hear him say, "Oh, there's no give." And it was one of the Albright does take a bump into the lake, which I would not have done. He also takes a bump into a porta potty, which I would not have done.
The porta potty might have been cleaner than the lake too.
No, he came out with the blue stuff on him, and I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, it was. That's them. They are insane, and yeah, the B-dub redub, which is coming back. I am hosting it. Shawn Giffen told me I can talk about that. We're hoping to have a show up the week after When Bad Meets Evil. I don't know what match we're talking about yet. But keep an eye on Barrie Wrestling YouTube. But as far as this match, Puff and Ricky, we've talked about them. Let's talk about the Goat Brigade. Yeah. Shane Saber, Kirk Warmack, reuniting in Barrie for the first time in, I don't know, Diamond Jim had hair, I think, last time those guys teamed up. So it's been a while. Yeah. And I can't wait.
I've been lucky enough to see Shane, tag with some of the best. I've seen him with the Space Pirates. You know what I mean? I've seen him do a lot of cool things. I've never been lucky enough to see the Goat Brigade live. So for them to come to Barrie is a big thing for Tyler and I think. And we're both big fans. Don't get me wrong, I love Shane Saber. I think he's a phenomenal guy. But on a personal level, Kirk Warmack is one of the sweetest, kindest, coolest guys I've ever met. And has the greatest British Bulldog jacket.
I was just going to say that. Now, but you say those things about him, and he's a great human being, sweetest, kindest guy, until that bell rings. And then once that bell rings, he's the flip switches. And that's exactly what I think the biggest factor in this tag match is going to be. Can Puff and Ricky get the very serious Kirk Warmack and Shane Saber off of their game into their antics? Or if they can't do it, are they going to be able to withstand what Kurt and Shane are bringing to the table? Because these guys aren't going to mess around.
I watched Puff kill a man. He can do it.
I was going to say, sorry. I don't care how tough you are or how serious you are. If a guy reaches into his trunks and pulls out a gun, all of a sudden you react to that. That throws you off your game. And yeah, Puff stabbed Brad Myers. God rest his soul.
I mean, I heard that Brad had it coming. That's the rumor around the
always.
But
Brad's had it coming for sure.
We love Brad.
Can I quickly shout out?
I'm sure there's a reason he didn't rep the show in March. So that's all I'm going to say.
Brad was there.
Yeah, Brad was there.
Brad was the only.
Oh no, it was John that wasn't there. Never mind. I'm an asshole.
Yes.
Yeah. No, John wasn't there.
I do have to shout out Brad. I'd be remiss if I didn't. He's the best ref.
He is.
And he is one of the genuinely best people I've had the chance to meet on the indies. I even said, like, as soon as COVID's done, I'm giving this guy a hug. Like, that's I'm looking forward to. He is just such a great guy, excellent commentator, excellent ref. I just had to put that out there because Brad's one of my favorite people. And
I think any indie promotion it's smart to book Brad on your shows because people don't realize just how much a good referee makes a match better. And how important having a good referee is. Because I've watched my fair share of indie wrestling, and I never want to knock anybody that gets in the ring. But sometimes, the refereeing level it's very inexperienced. Let's say that on the indie level, and having a guy like Brad in there who knows where to be at all times, who's great on his counts, who knows the rules. Like, he is an asset, not only to any locker room because he is such a great person, but inside the ring, he takes good matches and makes them better.
I can speak from experience. I have refed matches in the indies, and I'll tell you right now, it's not easy. It takes skill. It takes, you need a certain mindset to be a good referee. I didn't have enough practice. I only did a handful of matches. I was not a good referee. I could only dream to be.
You're not really a great podcast host either, but we still let you come.
Thank you.
Practice makes perfect.
I set myself up for that one, but
I mean,
it wouldn't be counted out if Tyler didn't set himself up for me to tell him to shut the fuck up.
We're on about a 5-week streak of me putting Mike in a place where he's got to tell me to shut the fuck up. So I get that.
Sorry, not to tangent, but I had to shout Brad out. But you guys are right. I find refereeing, and if I'm being honest, PA and like the ring announcer are two places where a lot of organizations cheap out, and it can make a huge difference. And that's not just with the announcing. It's not just in wrestling, junior hockey and things like that. You see some bad PA announcers, and man, they don't cost that much to get a good one. But yeah, so for this match, I'm gonna put you guys on the spot. Puff and Ricky or Goat Brigade?
Oh. I'm going to go with Puff and Ricky. I think that the mind games are going to be the difference maker. We talked earlier, you don't know what you're going to do until you get punched in the face. Well, the Gold Brigade are expected to get punched in the face, but what are they going to do when Puff and Ricky are Puff and Ricky? That's where the big difference maker is going to be.
You can't prepare yourself to wrestle a man in Crocs. No, I got to go Puff and Ricky on this one.
And then, we were just talking about Brad Myers, and I'm sure that he's going to be the man that's hoisting the Barrie Wrestling Heavyweight Championship up over his head. This one is going to be real good. You got former champion who only lost his belt because of some people say because of sneaky moves from Alexia Nicole. You got Mark Wheeler going up against the current champion, the man with the catchiest theme music in all of wrestling now. It's in my head.
Theme music in independent wrestling.
It's in my head for months at a time after it's over. El Diablo, Mr. Everything, Gabriel Fuerza.
If anybody's listening right now and not watching, you can't see how happy I am. That song is such an earworm.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out what it was for the longest time. I'm like punching in the lyrics, trying to figure it out.
That's exactly what we did. Yeah.
It is it's not a traditional wrestling theme, but it fits who he is so well.
Yeah.
So well.
And I always forget to ask him. Every month I go and I always forget to ask him what the song was. Thank God Mike finally found it. It is in my Spotify playlist now. And so, yeah, that had to be said today. It had to be said. His music is almost as good as his talents in the ring, because this man is setting the world on fire. I think him
doesn't
and
matter
Von
where
Vertigo,
he is. If he's in crossbody and C4 and Barrie, it doesn't matter. He's having one of the matches of the night.
Yeah, this guy, you could see, you could really say this about either one of these guys, but I could easily picture myself turning on a television and seeing these guys on an NXT, on an Impact Wrestling, on a Monday Night Raw. These guys are so talented. Wheeler's got such a presence to him. He's got this look. He's got this mean attitude. But
I think the timing's off for Wheeler. Wheeler's coming home from the UK. He's going to be fucking tired. He hasn't had the kind of. I'm not saying that Fuerza had an easy schedule. He's been working cross-body shows. He's been working C4 shows. He's been working, but he hasn't been working overseas on that kind of schedule, doing as many matches, and then coming home with the jet lag. So I'm going to have to say that I'm giving it to Fuerza, if for no other reason than exhaustion on the part of Wheeler.
Well, and there's no guarantee that Vaughn and Junior aren't going to throw Wheeler out of the plane either, right?
That's
like
fair.
on the way back. You mentioned Wheeler's look. I have said to him, and he took this as a compliment, that he has the most punchable face I've seen in independent wrestling. He's like it's like him and The Miz for the two most punchable faces in wrestling.
Yeah.
And I guess now Logan Paul. But when Bad Meets Evil is the title, and it really does sum up this match, because like Wheeler is bad, but Fuerza is evil, and
El Diablo, man. Yeah,
he's, you know, he had his face turn or whatever you want to call it, and he still tells the crowd they're jerks.
Yeah,
and he's just out there for himself, and they cheer him, and he's like, okay. He's so good though.
Mike is actually not allowed to wear his Gabriel Fuerza shirt in his household because it scares his 3-year-old child.
Yeah, my kid is scared of my Fuerza shirt, and when I told Fuerza that at one of the shows, he took it as the greatest compliment he's ever received, which just tells you everything about Gabriel Fuerza.
He is unique.
My prediction for this match, for the winner, is us as fans, because these guys are gonna tear the house down. I can't pick one on this one. I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna enjoy it, and that's my take on this one.
Well,
I'm with you on that.
I say we will not be hearing. I will make a prediction, one side or the other. I say we will not be hearing the one of Barrie Wrestling's favorite chants, "New champ."
Yeah, that's what you think, eh? I always like the "You can't beat him" chant. That's my favorite Barrie Wrestling.
That is my favorite. No, I'm gonna give to the champ, man. I say Gabriel retains on this one.
And that's gonna be this
my
Saturday,
favorite
right?
chant. Yes, this Saturday. I was just saying, my favorite chant was the old Anton. What's the KFC guy's name again?
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. When Anton used to wrestle in his tux, the Colonel Sanders chant. That is my
that's a
all-time
good
favorite
one.
Barrie Wrestling chant.
Good one. We've been trying to, thanks to a silly thing on one of I think it was Holden's IG or Instagram thing that Tyler was part of. We've been trying to start a chant for Clay Wilson. We've been trying to start a Bob Vila chant, and that will catch on.
Clay's not going to be there on Saturday. I don't know who Jim's going to take all his anger out on.
Yeah, I'm upset. I like Clay. I like seeing him walk around in his Owen Hart blazer that he's got there. It's a nice jacket he's got.
There's a question. Any of the guys in that storyline are going to be at that show? I didn't see is Travis or Old School. Any of those guys?
Old School.
The card is what the card is.
Old School's being held out because of injuries, right? He got attacked backstage at the last show. Yeah. Travis isn't here, and Clay has been suspended for his actions at the last show. So
and forgive me, Mike. Remind me the name of the gentleman the other gentleman that Old School manages.
Ronti Legend.
Legend.
Thank you.
Ronti Legend. I don't know why I want to call him Ronti Washington. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's Ronti Legend. Underrated big man.
Yes,
I met him before the show, and it's like
he's huge.
How's it going? He's a big man.
Yeah, he's huge and gentle giant. When you talk to him, what a nice man he is as well. And again, you say that about all these guys until the bell rings. And if you are in the Barrie area, or and within driving distance over the next couple hours, do yourself a favor. Barrie Wrestling is building a great reputation, and it is rightly deserved as being one of the greatest independent promotions, not just in Canada, not just in Ontario, but of the whole world, in my opinion. From top to bottom, you don't get a bad match. I'm not just saying this because we're affiliated with them. Like I don't spit out bullshit that I don't believe in, and I'm a firm believer in this product, and I'm really happy to be associated with Barrie Wrestling.
So true story time. In the group chat, because I've only been around Barrie Wrestling since 2017, 18, something like that. Again, the last 2 years are a blur. And I asked Shawn and Jim, I said, has there ever been a bad Barrie Wrestling match? Like a really Queen Charmel against Jenna in Impact
Moscow or whatever. Yeah.
And no, they couldn't think of one. There were matches that guys didn't like, or that maybe, went too long or whatever. But as far as a really bad, that shouldn't have happened match, there isn't.
As fans, we are spoiled because I could sit there and be like, and it's happened. I won't say the match. I'm not going to do that to the guys. But on the last show, I sat and watched the match, and I looked over at Tyler and said, that wasn't exactly what I wanted. That wasn't great. But then you have to remember what you're fucking comparing it to. You take that match, you could take that match that you just said wasn't great and put it up against some of the matches going all over the world, and it's still a good fucking match because you're comparing it against the rest of the Barrie Wrestling card. Barrie Wrestling is that fucking good.
the last show. And speaking of professional segues, so one thing I want to tell everybody about is if you don't live in the Barrie area and you still want to check out Barrie Wrestling, we are launching a Patreon. It is launching very soon in April. So very, very soon. So all the shows, so the December show, which I know is lots on YouTube, the March show and the April show will all be on there. Each show will be up a couple of days after it happens with the commentary edited. Speaking of shout outs, Alan, who does our editing, phenomenal. He is
100%.
very, very, very angry in your headset at pretty much all times. Phenomenal. Really, really, really great. We're going to have some non-wrestling content that I don't know the details on yet. And I'm excited. I'm going to be hosting some interviews. Nice. So in character, out of character, a little bit of both. You know, I don't quite look like Alicia Tout, but, you know, similar vibe maybe. So that's really exciting for me. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. We don't have a name for it. So if anybody out there has a good name for it, again, at Mike Jefferies PA, hit me up on Twitter. I am open to almost any suggestion. Jim,
just
don't DM me your ideas.
Just call it the Alicia Tout Show. You'll get the views. and the rest is history.
I don't.
Because all you need is that one click. They don't need to stick around. As soon as they've clicked on it, you got the view. That's all you want.
I've only met her once. She's a sweetheart. I don't want to like she is all the power to her. She's an incredible interviewer. But yeah, so we're super excited about the Patreon launching, and there's lots of incredible stuff coming up for Barrie Wrestling. And I'm so excited. You know, it's been such a long wait.